What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Dominique The Podcast. We're here every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got some great guests this week, as usual. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, but I'm going to kick it off, with my co-host. He here every week. Y'all know G, always in the place to be. Give it up for my co-host, Gerard Guillory.
Yeah, we're glad to be here.
Hey!
Word up. Always good on Wednesdays.
Let's do that.
Let's do it. Yeah, okay, so we're going to start with Eric. I have two very, very funny guests on here. They're going to tell you all about themselves and who they are. So we're going to start with my first guest, the very funny Erica Nicole Clark.
Hey, I'm Erica Nicole Clark, comedian outside of Chicago. Was a teacher, just quit. So yeah. I'm excited to be here. I love Dominique.
Thank you, Erica. And we're going to go ahead on over to the D, to we came up together. He's one of my partners in crime. Give it up for my good friend, the very funny Howie Bell.
What up? Hey, Dominique. Hey, what's up, Gerard? Erica? It's my pleasure to be coming to you live from the Howie Bell Man Cave right here in the great city of Detroit, Michigan. All right.
Yeah.
Got the Detroit Lions on the Hard Knocks, baby. We hype this shit.
Y'all on Hard Knocks, so y'all gonna win some games.
Hey, at least a couple.
Hard Knocks don't translate to victories. Hard Knocks look good though. When you're on Hard Knocks, that mean they thinking big things for you.
At least they tried.
They tried. They like
money into the program.
Yes, they got some hopes and aspirations for the Lions this year.
It's gonna be a hell of a preseason this year. We're gonna go all 4 games.
They loyal fans. I got a lot of family in Detroit. And Howie already know that. They loyal fans out there in Detroit.
Oh man, we love our Detroit Lions, man.
I'm trying to tell you, the Lions, the Pistons, they don't even. If they lose, they just be like, "Come on now." So Eric, you go ahead, Howie. What you saying?
I was saying just a quick story. I was hanging out with this guy. He played for the Lions some years ago, maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. And one of my boys took me over his crib. This is where all the Lions be living at. I was like, all right, this is a nice area, whatever. So we go in there, they playing Madden, smoking Black and Miles, drinking. I was like, this is why we lose it.
Yeah.
Right here.
Hey,
like y'all in the hood, so y'all drinking, smoking, and burn. I mean, I'm like, y'all ain't y'all work. It's supposed to work out. Y'all ain't got no plays.
No.
Come on.
No playbook in the room.
None
None of that.
No.
Hey, Howard, I wanted to know, was anybody playing with the Lions?
No. They was playing with the Lions.
I know
you every other team but yours.
Yeah.
I used to play with some of the Wizards players when the Washington, what they call them now? Not the Miss. What's the men name? What they call the
Washington Wizards?
They're the
Wizards, yeah.
Yeah, the
They
Wizards.
used to be the Bullets.
They was the Bullets, and they changed the name.
That's a horrible name for a DC team.
Yeah. So I was friends and hanging out with, Jawan and Jawan Howard and Chris Webber and all that kind of stuff. And they'll be doing the same thing, playing that game. And he always gonna ask somebody, who want to play me? Don't nobody want to play you. We don't know for you to start running them moves on us. You do in practice. Ain't nobody
right.
And then if they play, if you play them and you lost, whoever lose on the game, they the slave for the day. So that means they gotta
for real?
They gotta go to the store. They gotta get all the
oh my
God, everything. Yeah, they gotta get every. He talking about who next. I ain't getting on the sticks with nobody to go to NBA practice every day. I need somebody work at the post office or for the
right.
Somebody with not all that time on their hands.
No, I ain't doing that. He knows stuff about the league I ain't never thought of. People running screens on me, pick and roll.
Pick and roll. That's a great.
I don't play like that. I play with people that come up, pass the ball, and shoot. I don't know. Go round back. Check your man. No, they ain't gonna have me up there getting mollywopped. I got 10 points. I done got to get off the game. I'm down 25 in the first quarter. Now I don't play I play with people work at the liquor store and stuff like that.
We do pick up PlayStation.
Right.
That we play at the park with. If I'm not able to run with y'all on the practice facilities, I only play PlayStation with people who play outside.
I was good at the NBA on it. My whole thing is I don't like playing by myself. I ain't never been that deep into the video games that I'm gonna sit there and play the computer. That's how they get
good. They sit and play the computer. That's how they get good.
It don't work for me though. I get bored. I need somebody to talk shit to. Like, pass the blood. Sorry.
Hey, we in the day now. You can put the headphones on. You can go online and play somebody now.
They done called me too old now though. I be buying PS5s and stuff just to have it. I don't even play it. Right. I got a damn brand new PS4.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I don't even really play it because
I'm getting older.
Yeah, and I used to have people to play with. I had my guys and stuff to play with, but everybody get older. People start having kids and stuff. And, I can't make it today. You know what I'm saying? The last time I played it was when we was on the last comic standing tour.
Wow.
That was the last time I played. And I hadn't played in a while, but I still remember the you know how the sticks work and all that stuff. So we got on there, we played in the back of the bus. And me and Clayton English, shout out to Clayton.
That's my dog.
Yeah, Clayton. Man, I beat Clayton ass one time. Then I got off the sticks because I was like, I don't know if I can do it again.
Right.
He didn't think I could do it. You know, Clayton was flying from half court doing a spin in the air. I said, in a minute though, I'm gonna see him doing that play and I'm gonna block. You know what I'm saying? So that's the last time I really played.
Yeah, you gotta have a lot of time on your hands to get good at video.
And you know, I ain't got it.
3:30 in the morning come real fast when you get it together, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's 5 in the morning.
Yeah. Once you get our age, you be about half sleep at 10:30.
I just got too much to do. Like I don't want to get beat no more. Like I don't want people to just beat me up on the game. So I retire. You know,
you retire.
I retire.
Did you ever play, Erica? Did you ever play?
Yeah, I used to play. I'm weird with that. I play all night, just like Gerard was saying, just like Howie. I play all night till the sun come up. I love video games. I love them. That's why I don't have one. I wouldn't do shit. I wouldn't go to work. I call off work.
Right.
Uber.
Go ahead, Eric.
No, I was saying, yeah, I do that. I Uber Eats. I just sit in the house all day. So I can't have one.
When you got a real addiction is when you call in sick. But
from work.
You got to turn the TV down. First down. Oh man, I said I got diagnosed with COVID, and that's why doctors said play a few games.
Right.
They had me using too many. When I went over my cousin's house, her sons played. They was like, "You want to play bank robber?" When I was on the stick, I was like, "Oh no, I didn't know you had to use all 18 buttons." I don't know how you know 18 buttons on the stick. Every time I tried, they kept shooting. I said, I ain't about to keep getting killed now. That ain't gonna happen.
You know that's a real game, bank robber.
Wow.
That's
what they call it, but they rob banks. What's crazy about it, Erica, is that's what they call it, but they rob banks. And she got sons, right? And I told her, I said, they down there learning how to rob a bank. Because he was with his brother saying, watch your back. Duck, duck. I said, this not healthy right here.
Oh, no, that ain't, yeah.
I don't know if it was bank robber, Erica, but yeah,
that's crazy.
They were good at it.
Yeah.
When you get older, you gotta stick to the old games like Candy Crush.
No, right. I used to teach autistic kids, and I brought in Grand Theft Auto for them to play. They beat the fuck out of them prostitutes. They all would get arrested. All they would do is beat up.
Wow.
I'm like, boy, y'all having some problems. They just beat the hell out of prostitutes. Just pull over. Right? I was like, all right, let me turn this game off. This is inappropriate for teaching. Right.
They need a game called Good Deeds out here. Some for the kids, some for society.
Man,
it'll be the lowest selling game ever.
Nobody will buy it.
It's the one that come in the box.
They couldn't get that away to PBS.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna
single player game.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Howie, you right. When you solitaire, that kind of stuff.
Spades, right.
Gin rummy, stuff that you
get. That word game everybody used to play. What was the name of it? Words with Friends or something like that?
Yeah.
It was like you play for you come up with unscramble the words, and you had to figure out how many words that you could come up with out of what
yeah.
It was like it was some boring ass grown game.
Yeah.
Words with Friends or something like that. You remember Erica, huh?
I remember. I remember the game, but
I didn't play it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't play. That's like going to English class to me. I want to play a game. You want me to be in school?
This only got, I'm grown. I can't play all them other games now. I can't play all my games. Got to be adult. Chess.
Man. Domino.
I got the domino. Old man game.
Yeah. So Erica, you said you just quit being a teacher. When did you quit?
Yes. I quit the middle of last year. In the middle of the year. Yep.
What made you quit?
I can't give y'all the honest reason.
No.
No. I taught at the school. Like I said, I used to teach special ed, and then I went to gen ed, and I like gen ed better. I like special ed has its pluses. I just didn't like it anymore. And then they tried to put me back into special ed, and so I was like, and then they tried to I was the only Black teacher in the school, so they tried to be like, you're a strong Black woman. And I was like, I don't want to do it no more. And I kind of wanted to focus on comedy. So I was like, this is a good time. It's been 15 years teaching. So I was like, I could take a break.
Oh, that's
general education. Okay. Yeah, general education. Yeah. So I liked it better than special ed. But yeah, so they wanted to move me back to special ed. So I quit.
Okay, I was just wondering. I really asked you for the purposes of, did you leave to pursue to get deeper into your comedy?
Yes.
And I was talking. Okay, and I'm glad you brought that up. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about comics. Is it different for comics that never really left their actual job? Is the passion different? I want to know what you guys think. Is the passion different? Do they attack it the same way? You can say like Gerard, like he worked, but Gerard worked on a television and film lot. To me, that's not really like working. To me, that's a hold on, my phone doing something.
No, but Dominique, that's staying within your craft still.
That's what I'm saying. So to me, that's not really a job to me. That's a come up. If anything, you're making money doing it, but you can so come up in this craft.
Right.
I'm talking in particular about people that may do other jobs, like may work for the government, may work for the sanitation company, those type of jobs. Do you all think you can fully commit, and do you view it the same way as those that leave their jobs and say, this is what I'm gonna do?
Yeah. For me, I call off in a minute. I don't give a fuck. So I was like the teacher that would be like, oh, it's a Friday. Guess who's not here? Erica. But I call off, but you feel bad. Like I can't keep calling off. And then like that kind of makes you miss opportunities because you're like, I can't call off work. But on the other flip side, I never wanted to be a broke comedian. I didn't want to be like, You know what I mean? So I try to figure out some ways. Like now, I can substitute teach. Just to get some money, because I never wanted somebody to be like, "Oh, I need you for this show," and I ain't got like no money on me. I can't buy a ticket or something like that. So
that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
You know what? I've since I started doing comedy, I never had a job, so I can't even think about only jobs I've ever had was either doing some production work or something like that. But I just or a writing job, obviously. But other than that, I just never did anything else. So, but I do through the years of doing comedy, I look back and sometimes I probably should have, but I didn't want to. Because I knew that if I started doing something else and trying to concentrate on something else, that it was going to take me away from stand-up comedy. And I never wanted to be away from stand-up comedy.
Right.
So
I think I agree. And I'm sorry, how are you?
No, what I was going to say was, but as far as passion and drive and looking at it differently, it's people that have jobs now that love comedy. They've been doing comedy for a long time. Always worked though. Always had a job. So I don't.
Are you able to give it everything though? When you have a job, you don't really know. Okay.
Yeah, because I ain't never. Yeah. I've only always given it everything. You know what I'm saying? Because
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know how somebody with a job feels, because they can feel just as passionate as me. I just know that I always want to be by that phone. If somebody say, "Hey, you got to be here and you got to leave tomorrow," I want to be able to leave tomorrow. And that was just a part of stand-up and the part of comedy. I wanted to always be available to get work within comedy. So I never wanted to get another job. So because I didn't want to be unavailable.
Right. I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I think that's it's my opinion, that's the only difference, right? Because people who work, remember, they will have to be up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, push, have your show closed with you, shower at whatever you have to do to be at the club. Yeah. And we see those comics every night. We may or may not know what their backstory is, but they don't miss a beat in town. I think the difference is getting that call. I know when I was a young comic, I was still in college. I wasn't I had a job, but my problem was that I was still going to school. So I was, I had very humble beginnings. So I had to go through the hard part. Then I hit the mark where I'm funny. Now I'm at the point where I'm having to turn people down every week. Right. And then this too. Every comic knows this. Independent of how good you are, if you have a car, it's going to open some out of town work. You drive, how you got a car? What you doing tomorrow? You know what I mean? Yeah. You can start getting that work just because you drive. You know what I mean? Right. So I think the passion is the same. If you love comedy, you love it, independent of what you got to do. It's the same thing like with people with kids. They did a lot of stuff to be at the club on time. Their passion, I think it's just about being available, like Howie said. And just in my opinion.
Okay. I had a job when I started out, and I found that it was better for me to quit the job. I worked at an OBGYN when I first started out, and I felt like I had to be to work too early in the morning, and I was out too late at night. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I felt like it was better for me, but my situation was different. I had a cushion. I was living with my mother. So I had a whole different kind of cushion. Right. So I do understand when you don't have that cushion and you got a family, you got to feed your family. Yeah, dude. You know what I'm saying? And then the doctor that I worked for, she passed away. And I was working for another doctor that took her practice over. And it just wasn't working for me. And I was very young. I had that cushion living with my mother. And I was just like, you know what? One day I just went on sick leave. And I ain't never even go back. She was just like, when are you coming back? I was just like, hey, when I feel better. Yeah. You know, but what's wrong with you? I undisclosed. I don't know.
Hold on.
Something ain't right. I didn't like her. And you know what used to make you do crazy stuff. So that's really
So Dominique been on sick leave for like 20 years.
For like almost 30 years. Erica, almost 30 years, girl.
Hold on. You got to go back and clock out to get that.
Right. But listen, it's been so long, that doctor even passed away.
Oh, wow.
It's
Damn.
gone now.
Hey,
Yeah,
you put
that's
them-
how long it's been.
put
And the
them out.
lady that my coworker, I just called and told her we talked off work, and she was like, "You're not coming back." I was like, "No, can you just look out for my unemployment papers, please?" She said, "I look out for them." And she called me too. She said, "I stamped them and sent them back, and I was on my way."
There you
And there were a lot of times though coming up that I, like Erica said, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, I can substitute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can substitute and make a little bit of money. So that is a good thing. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of times coming up, I was like, man, I wish I had a little gig. But I
Right.
wouldn't go get it because of like what Howie said. I was like, I can't do it because of my type of personality.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm gonna be the manager over there.
Over there, right?
And I'm gonna be telling jokes over wherever I'm working. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm gonna be the manager over, at the 5 and dime. I'm gonna be up in there like, hey, this is my spot.
Yeah.
That's on sale. You know what I'm saying? Doing what I do. That's how I get entrenched in things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a place in LA called the damn Gerard, you might remember it was called not Five Guys like the hamburger place, but like Great Guys or Best Guys or some kind of like moving company or something in LA a long time ago. This guy he offered me a job there. He was like one of the managers or something, and it was like a decent job. Man, I almost took that job, and it was in LA. I just remember being like, "Don't take this job." You know what I'm saying? Like telling myself, like, if you do that, man, I was sharing bags of French fries with Spanky and Joe Blunt on Crenshaw. We live in Lemur Park. So I mean, we was poor. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I needed that job. I did not take that job. I'm glad I did not take that job.
Yeah.
Now, I would say this to anybody: please don't listen to me because everybody's life is different.
Oh no, do your journey now.
Do your own journey.
Do your own journey now.
Right.
Yes.
Here was my scenario at the studio. So I hadn't where I was reading meters for Georgia Power when I first started doing comedy, but it was a summer job, and that was one of those jobs. Tom, I had to be there at 6:30, but by 2:00 in the afternoon, I'd be chilling, showered already, and everything. So I would sleep in the day and then go to the comedy act at night.
Okay,
and so my what you call it would be balanced. When I got to LA, there was a guy I went to college with who offered me that job, but he offered me a stage manager's position that was somewhere around $30 an hour.
Wow.
And that was my choice. It was like, oh, I can't take that. I went to Morehouse and everything. I'm like, I said it on Jay Phillips last week. If I blow up tonight, I ain't gonna be here with the keys in the morning. You know what I'm saying? so I started in the labor department. I started at the low end. So I'm riding around on the cart doing heavy lifting and doing things. I had carpentry and all that, sanding, painting DL Hughley's office and whatnot. Yeah. And then I ended up landing in the parking lot. But I hear you. And here's what I wanted to ask.
But that's still an entertainment.
Absolutely. Right next to it.
Yes.
But that's why I wanted to ask Howie about the guy who offered him the job at the moving company. He probably saw something in you like, hey, man, I used to be a singer, man. Come on and work.
I mean, he probably was like,
my hopes and
it's
dreams.
going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to make it. You know?
You're not going to make it.
You're not going to make it. And I just remember being like, oh, I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, because I'm gonna go do shows, or I might get a gig. I'm thinking about stuff that ain't even happened for me yet.
Right.
Yeah, I'm becoming really the majority of my career, I've been a road comedian. But I just remember thinking at that time, even as a young comedian, well, if they call me, I can't go to Tennessee, or I got to go to New York, I can't be there. I used to think like that even as a young comic. So I think that was a lot of my decision making was based off of that.
Right.
Yeah,
positive mindset.
And I think the problem I had, my mother would always make me go get summer jobs and stuff. I think the problem I had on the interview when I was younger, I didn't quite know how to answer the question. I did. I would answer. I think I didn't know you had to lie a little bit. She didn't tell me that part. She said, "Go get your job." I guess she wanted me to figure it out. I went to the mall to get this job. Sting security, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the security. And they started asking me, if somebody steal, you going, do this, that, and the third. I was like, I was like, we don't have nothing but a stick. I'm running with the people. You know what I'm saying? They like, you can't work here. I'm not staying up in here. With
I ain't never on that note though, Dominique, I ain't never understood how these employees be chasing down these thieves.
Man, I'm not chasing. I'm running,
fighting them. I'm like, man.
I mean, I'm running with the crowd. Don't be looking at me. Do I got a gun or anything? I'm just here for show. This for show. I'm just here to deter you. I'm not really here to do. I'm not about to be walking up on you. No, I'm not. Put that back. What? Put that back. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. When you see people run, if you see that stick swinging, you better do what I'm doing. Get your ass up out of here.
Man, fighting with these employees, man. These employees shooting people. It's wild out here in these streets.
Are you kidding?
These streets wild.
I would imagine.
It's just wild. I'm like, I can't believe this world is wild like this.
It's wild.
It's wild. The whole world is a public school.
It is.
In the
worst neighborhood. Especially by the science wing behind the cafeteria in front of the gym. It's the worst neighborhood in the school, man. Are you kidding?
I promise you it's white. And they ain't just black people, ain't just white people.
It's
wild.
Yeah, Erica can tell you that. She knows.
I'm talking about people running over people with cars, people shooting people. I'm like, man, what the hell is going on?
Come on, man.
Really wilding.
Look, I mean, the little league football game and a shooting at Six Flags is just
Six Flags, yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. What next?
Dog, you go to coach your little league team and get killed coaching at your little league game.
Let's add to that. You got murdered by an NFL star's brother.
Right.
Not a dude who just played in the league and ended up moving furniture at big guys in LA.
right.
But a dude who won Super Bowl rings.
Right.
Right? Who understands the value and importance of this.
He understands all of this.
Yeah.
And
so
I think
they understand.
And I think in some ways it killed Little League. You know, I come from a football family. You know what I mean? My brother and my nephew, you know, my nephew still plays football for the University of Buffalo, you know. So he still plays football. So I've been going to Little League games and everything. And I'm like, parents would say things and parents would express their emotions, but I just don't understand what has happened that you had a Little League game and emotions get high and it end up with you killing somebody. It's crazy to me.
Dominique,
go ahead, Erica. Go ahead.
No, that's crazy.
No, go ahead, Erica. I'm sorry.
It's no, that's nuts. Trust me. And like I didn't teach, like I taught at a public school, but it was all white, you know. But that don't save them. Like they're still fighting. Like I don't know what it is about Little League, little kids games. Parents fight all the time. Like, but that dude bringing a gun, like to me, that seemed like he was just. Did he shoot him there, like in front of them?
Yeah, in front of the kids.
His own son.
See, I thought he went back later and then went to his house.
No.
Right then and there.
One of the parents said, I saw in the news yesterday, he said, my sons are traumatized and they no longer want to play football. Like, you know what I mean?
Damn.
So
I can see that.
Absolutely.
Right. I'm done. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because they're gonna associate that violence with the game. You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, anything can happen out here.
Right. You know, these kids are smart. They might be like, we don't get CTE playing online. You know,
right?
Mama already didn't want me playing. You already know.
Right.
That.
So,
but you know what though? What I was gonna say was, it ain't just in Little League football, children's sports or anything like that. It's in every facet of America. I'm talking about people in the airports clowning. People are on the airplane mid-flight clowning.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm talking about fist fighting.
Right.
Always clowning.
Somebody, I read somewhere people think it's because, with the 22 months we was all locked up this is it. Like, this is the result of the lockdown and the pandemic. Like, now people don't know how to act in public.
We were trending this way for a long time. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna say what you were gonna say, G. I don't believe that, Eric. And I know people are saying that, but I don't believe that. I believe one of the things I think happened when that wicked Donald Trump administration came in, things have never been the same ever since. We have been off kilter and off beat and begin to hate each other and not care about each other. Even if people before he came felt that way, they held it in and dealt with it a different kind of way.
Right.
Now, once he got in there and started being anything and say, okay, the president can be anything, the president can say anything, we've been off track ever since. And people have been wow.
You ain't told one lie. No
lie.
Wow. In your administration.
He was so bold in the way people have forgot half the things he said. And because he can say anything. At one point, he said he could stand in the middle of
Fifth Avenue,
shoot somebody.
Yeah, you know and they wouldn't do nothing about it.
He was
Well, here's the problem with that, Howie. I'm sorry to cut you. Remember, that was before he was voted in.
Ain't that crazy?
So the mere fact that he got in the office after having said that, it was like, oh, let's get to murdering people on TV. Here it goes.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a weird kind of guy, but I've been believing some weird stuff. But Donald Trump was a major factor. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. The day Kobe Bryant and his daughter got killed in that helicopter accident, the world went to shit. Excuse me, I'm saying my friend.
No, it did.
I'm talking about ever since that day, it ain't been right.
No,
I think it was a little before that, Howie. I think it was the chicken sandwich.
I couldn't go.
You might be right about the chicken
You
sandwich.
said it.
Erica, you gotta say it. Yeah,
that chicken sandwich made him go nuts.
They was fighting. People was fighting in the parking lot of Popeyes and shooting in the air.
It's people still in prison right now.
From the chicken sandwich.
Yeah. People got murdered.
Yeah, people got shot over that. Yeah.
It is not even that good.
It's not.
But the thing of it is, nobody ever said about the chicken sandwiches. I don't know if people weren't eating how do you say brioche bread?
Yeah.
But I had already been eating it, so I knew immediately it's not the chicken sandwich, it's the bread.
It's the bread.
You like. It's the bread. You're not really used to eating this bread. It's not the chicken sandwich.
Right.
Well, yeah, it was that sandwich. It was a lot of things. And then you got this ignorant administration. The man told us to drink bleach.
Man, come on.
You know, the man stood up there and was dead ass serious.
Dead serious.
You know, and told us to drink bleach. Once he said that, it was haywire. Then I knew we were at a point of no return on January the 6th. I said, it's over.
Yeah,
Anytime they went to the Capitol, I said, it's over. It's over.
By then, it was past. There's one element, and I hope nobody's upset with me, but when our gangster convict class determined that on site, when people had been saying on site, but we hadn't been seeing them do, right? It's on site. Yeah. As soon as I see you, it's on site. Yeah. And when that phrase was morphed into, we get on where we mad at. Yeah. So the second I get angry, it's going to pop off like I had time to strategize and do all this other stuff. Now you just see it. No one takes any strategy. You don't have an exit plan. You don't know how you're going to get out of this. You're just going to throw the first punch or pull the trigger wherever you are.
Or you're going to use your car. You know, a lot of vehicular homicides.
It's a whole lot of.
So what they'll do is they'll go to their car and y'all will be standing out there and they just come run y'all over.
Just blasting through.
That's true.
No remorse.
They just did that in Chicago, Eric. You saw
at this club.
Yeah, the gay bar.
And just drove through, right? They're trying to see if it's
I never seen people fly like that after getting hit. Like I never seen nothing like that.
I didn't watch it. I won't watch it.
Man, I watched it. It just happened. You know, some stuff be on your timeline. You letting it happen, and you can't catch it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was man.
But you're right. It's a lot of that.
It's a lot of vehicular homicide, a lot of vehicular, just like attacks going on right now.
And it's a lot of male on female attacks.
Ain't it? What's wrong with these dudes?
I don't know what's wrong with these dudes.
My man tackled the lady in the airport. Y'all saw that?
Well, she hit him. She hit him
though. But he was still up on her though. But he was still doing this to her and all that. She was like, "Get away from me!" And then she pushed him. And then he was like, "You don't put your hands on me." And he kept going. And then she reached around my man and hit him. And then he went. So what I'm saying
Erica, you think it was justified? Because she put her hands on him. So once hands laid, it's whatever.
I think a man and woman, we can argue and we can point in faces, but I feel like once hands are laid, and she did it twice.
She did.
When she got tripped up. He didn't really hit her.
She put
Wait a minute, Howie. Hold up, Howie. Go ahead, Erica.
Because he didn't hit her, right? He just tripped her, right? Like he grabbed her ankle, right? And she fell. He didn't get it.
That was an offensive lineman move.
Right.
That was an offensive lineman drill he was doing. He just fell down and knocked her down, I believe. But
right.
Out of order.
What I was gonna say was he could have de-escalated it though, because he was, and now once she touched him, it was over. It was fair game. But he was all up in her grill, and he wouldn't back up out of her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He could have did that. He could have said, "All right, man, just let me call security," because he worked. He was the one that worked for that.
Right.
So he could have de-escalated that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's so hyper and mad right now. So it's so hard to calm down.
Especially,
Gerard, it's just happening. Right now. It's going for
right now.
And
all the way there.
In customer service, people I've learned in customer service, they get fed up to a point where they taking out frustration from people that stuff that happened to them a year ago. They so sick and tired of people. You know what I'm saying? They so sick and tired of people. He had enough Karens. It might not have even been her.
Right about that.
You know what I'm saying? He had enough with Karen, and he said, "You know what, Karen number 77, I'm gonna be joy."
Right.
For all the other Karens. So
you're right.
Everybody's so frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Everybody eating weed legal, and we just frustrated. This is not happening in Amsterdam. Everybody riding a bike. Everybody calm. They smoking their weed. They lay back to eat. Look, even in Chicago. When I saw the two female officers fighting, I said, "This out of control."
I couldn't believe I saw them two.
They probably was fighting over a man, though, Erica. What you think?
I'm with you. But see, like, I worked in a school, right? So, like, school shootings, right? So, this is what they're teaching kids, which is crazy to me, because it's like, now they teach. Have y'all ever heard of Alice training?
What is it?
Do y'all know what that is? Alice, ALICE. So that's what this is what they teach kids. There's no more. I know in Chicago, I don't know about other cities. First, there's no more code red. There's no more of that. It is over the PA. They say there is a shooter in the building, right? Like that's what they say. So no more code red or code whatever, which immediately puts every person. Like everybody gonna go into a panic, right?
Right.
And then the L is for lockdown. That means all doors lock, which is backwards to me. But they're trying to and then I is isolate because they're trying to isolate the shooter.
Right.
Then if you have no choice, then C is confront him. Try to knock the gun. Exactly. You see how y'all all turned your face?
How you gonna do that?
Right. Confront him. Try to throw a chair at him or whatever, and then he is finally evacuate. I'm like, that should be first. But
They need
to change that name to Brenda or Tanya or something.
Right. I had a kindergartner. Kindergartners, I taught kindergarten. They was like, "What should we do?" I was like, "Jump out that window and run." Yeah. Run. Yeah. Don't look back. Don't try to run with your friends. Don't try to hide. Get out the window and run. Like
that was smart.
Don't listen to Alice. Alice gonna get you shot. Okay. Yeah, don't be like lockdown. Don't confront a man.
And the police officers don't even follow that Alice. They was outside that door for about an hour when that guy was in there shooting.
In Texas.
Yeah.
When they were shooting.
Hey, look, they was outside the door like this. What are y'all doing?
No.
Right.
They went in there talking about, excuse me, sir.
Come on, man.
Right.
Excuse
Like that's
me,
I'm like,
sir.
run,
Sir?
run,
No.
run. Right.
So
A policeman told me that. He said, tell your students, forget this program. Tell your students to run. Don't hide. He
Right.
said, when people are scared, they think to hide. He was like, teach them to run. Keep running. Don't try to find your friend. Run home. And that's what I told him. I'm like, run home. Yeah. Because, I mean, even if y'all, they 5, I'm like, y'all don't know where your home is. Run where you think it is. I don't care.
Get out front.
Run to
Get out
somebody
front.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gerard. Go ahead, Gerard.
There was one thing I want to say back about the fight in the airport.
Yeah.
About when men putting hands on women and so forth. So there was an older gentleman, looked like he was well built, looked like he ran up on the airport employee and said, "Don't never put your hands on no woman." Right? Did you see that?
I saw that.
So my question to that brother is, where were you at the beginning? Right? You just waited. Y'all sat around and waited on that dude to punch that lady, and then ran up talking about don't hit no lady. But we saw it brewing. So I'm just saying, chivalry has to get there earlier.
But did he even know the lady?
Nah, he didn't know her.
No. So he just addicted to white supremacy. That's all.
Nah, he was one of them. He was clout chasing, man. That's all. I mean, I don't really know how to describe. He's like, man, don't do that. You don't hit her. Don't. And he's like, well, fight me. And old boy is like, okay, well, I'll fight you too. Like, but the camera stop. You didn't really see all the videos. I don't know if they actually fought or not. But
the dude did put his hands behind his back and said, swing on me.
He did.
Right.
Because he was at work. He said, because in his mind, he like, I defended myself against her.
Yeah.
Right.
So you swing on me if you got so much. Do it, brother.
Right.
And he stood right there and ain't swing.
Yeah.
One thing I do know is he tackled her. He gonna really come off that end like Bruce Smith and put me down.
Right.
We gotta get another Buffalo reference. Make sure to watch University of Buffalo football this season, please. Bruce Smith. Yeah, come on, chivalry. Let's stop getting caught looking like simps in these videos. We need to stand tall when that kind of stuff is happening.
But the bottom line, though, keep your hands to yourself.
Everyone.
And mind your business.
And mind
your hands to yourself and mind your business, and you'll be alive.
Howie, I say it all the time. I be like, you know what? I can't even say nothing because I be the one shot.
See what I'm saying?
I'm going to just have to go, and then I'm going to have to call 911 and say such and such happening, because it's no thing as a good Samaritan no more.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Because these people shooting.
You think so?
They are, but it is. Let me rephrase that, Erica. They are good Samaritans. But what I'm trying to say is they are unwilling. They did. They are unwilling more and more to intercede in things because they're shooting people.
Right.
So people are not going to intercede the way they used to, and it's nobody is rational anymore. You know, common sense isn't common. You can't even talk to somebody and say, "Well, let's look at it this way."
No,
right.
You know, all that stuff gone. All that stuff is gone. Wait a minute, Howie. All that stuff is over. So there are a lot of good Samaritans. Like I think all of us on here right now are good Samaritan people. But because of the times we in, it makes you apprehensive, and you like, nah, I'm gonna just have to keep it moving, and then it look bad. I'm gonna just have to call 911 and say, look, I'm at such and such and such and such, and this is what I see happening, and I'm not getting in the middle of it.
Okay. Do you really think the world is more messed up, or do you think we just know about it more?
I think that's the biggest problem is that the information we get it, the way we get the information, and we get it so fast. It was nothing wrong living in the world with waiting to see what came on the news. It made us very desensitized. A timeline did us great harm.
Yeah,
you know, that timeline really, really hurt us as a society. It desensitized us. It desensitized our children.
Yeah,
and when you put that on top of parents and children have the same activities, it's chaos. You know, parents and children both on this timeline. You know, and it's and not living in reality. And nobody's really working to tell our children that it's not a bad thing. It has its place. It's good for promoting. It's good. It's fun. But you have to look at it and understand it the right way and not think you can build your life off of social media in this timeline. And that's something that you need to look up to and try to do. You got to live in real time and in real life and in your reality. So that timeline was very detrimental to our society. And once you wake up the sleeping giant, I don't know how you close it down.
You can't put that back in the tube.
You can't put it back.
Dom, I agree with you wholeheartedly. But I do think, though, that we've lost decorum. That, like I said, even when you watch a Western movie where you could wear a pistol where when the dancing girls danced in the saloon to show that they appreciated, they bust their guns in the ceiling to yee-haw. But when they got ready to scrap, it was step outside. You know, they knew not to move the furniture in the crib. We're gonna go outside and right there were ways and spaces and times to do things, and you just didn't see people rob. We rob in churches. They punching 85-year-old men and women in the face at the ATM. Remember, gangsters had decorum at one point. Remember, gangsters would keep you. There was certain things, men, women, and children are awful. There were certain things that just didn't happen, and we see all the time now. It's hard not to think, but here's my personal thing. I believe there's more good than bad. It's just that good is good. Bad stays up all night. Good gets 8 hours of sleep. Bad swallows its food whole. Good chews its food 100 times. You know what I'm saying? Good is going to always prevail. It just has to keep catching up to bad, because bad is bad. It has bad practices.
But that's what this country, they want us to, they promote the bad. You know, nobody promotes all the smart kids and all the good things that are happening. You can't even look at the news. The news will depress you for real.
Come on.
You turn on the news, you be like, okay, I need to go smoke after this. They done took me several notches down. I agree with you, G, but we are at that place with no morals and stuff because of the timeline. That stuff get in your psyche. That stuff get in your psyche.
Yeah.
And then when you had this Donald Trump administration, he used it to the detriment of the country, tweeting out everything, being a coward, being a bully. People took on all of that. You know, he a coward and he a bully. I guarantee you, Donald Trump can't smash a grape. If a fight break off, he gonna back up and slide out the back door. He got all these people running to the Capitol. I ain't running to no damn Capitol. You the leader, why you ain't going?
Come on.
Right.
Harriet Tubman led the people out of slavery, but she went with them. She ain't say, okay, just run straight.
Hey, what y'all think was in them boxes they seized at Mar-a-Lago?
A bunch of them wigs he wear on his head.
Not that box. Please, FBI, not that box.
He got a box full of orange pieces, hair pieces.
Yeah, that's what they need to look through. That's where all the secrets at, Howie, big.
Hilarious. One for every day of the week. That's not the
Tuesday. He got a whole bunch of. I know that he do cocaine, so he sweat a lot. Them things get funky.
Hilarious. We got Nike wig.
Yeah, look.
You know what? I'm glad y'all laughed at that because I did it on stage and they liked it too. I said, but cocaine on cocaine, he sweat a lot. People on cocaine sweat. You know what I'm saying? You know, he got to keep changing. I know they must be as hell.
You know what's crazy? I hate to say this. I met him so many times when I was younger, and he was. this is 80s. Don't do it. This ain't like 2010. But he was always a decent night. Like when I was a kid, he always nothing but around.
You breaking up, Erica?
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you didn't hear me?
Okay, yeah, say it now.
You didn't hear me now?
Might be
okay, I said I met Donald a lot of times when I was younger. Can y'all hear that?
How? Yeah, how?
Oh, that's my dad. I met him at the Tyson fight. He because he always had black celebrities around him when in the 80s and 90s, like he was the cool white man to know. And then it's like something ain't right with him. You know what I mean? Like
No,
you hear,
he on cocaine.
but he had to be on cocaine, man. I don't know. He got the bad back.
Yeah.
Probably was
Something.
though. You know, he probably was. You know, Donald Trump been rich for a long time. He can easily do cocaine. Cocaine is rich man's drug.
Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Come on.
So and that's why them wigs and the wigs. So you say you met him through your father at the fights, huh, Erica?
Yes, yeah. I met him probably about 5 or 6 times. He was always very friendly and whatever. That's what I always thought of him, just like a rich whatever man. But ain't like I voted for him or nothing. But yeah, it's just like it was. He always was around black celebrities. Whoever had money, he was always. That's who I always would see when I was a kid. But they was always black. And then it's just crazy how he ended up or how he. I don't know. It's nuts to think like, who knows what happened to. But then that was also before he said that stuff about the Central Park. You know what I'm saying? Central Park 4. Then it's just like it was like, ugh, that's the man I met a bunch of times, whatever. But I don't know what happened. I don't know if he got a bad batch of coke. Somebody sprinkled something in it. I don't know what happened.
He a bully, and he'll say whatever he say to get what he need to get. And he riled up people, and he knew when he opened up that old wound to all these people with white grievance. I don't know how the hell you white and got grievance. I don't really get that. What is your grievance? I don't really understand it.
You know,
he was so upset about Obama.
But he was so if you really want to know about it, what their grievance is, they feel like this is the irony in it all. They feel like they're losing a grip on something that wasn't never theirs in the first damn place.
Right.
Okay.
And so it's like, you know, like, because they've controlled pretty much society, you know, here in the new world for the last, I don't know how many
500 years.
So yeah, they weren't always in control. But now they're losing it. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine to feel that way. I think that's fine to feel that way. If that's your valid feelings and that's how you feel.
That's the feeling.
Yeah, if you feel like they're fine, but calm down and deal with your issues like everybody else does. You know what I'm saying?
That's the problem, though, Dom.
Just calm down and deal with your issues like everybody else does.
They never had to do that. That's the hardest part for them. This is like a baby that gets candy. I always say that baby asks for candy, you say no. They ask again, you say no. They ask 1,000 times, and finally the mother hand them the piece of candy, and now they got tears and snot all over their face. And if you've ever been in that position, right, you feel like an asshole when you got to say thank you because you got what you want, but why you got it is all over your face.
Right.
But
if you say thank you with snot on your face, you know what I mean?
But they had ample time to learn. Don't be mad now because you ignored it. When Rosa Parks, they go back to Rosa Parks. When we didn't have to sit at the back of the bus, things were changing. So you just need to deal with your situation and definitely don't be listening to no Donald Trump lead you by the nose and get you all in these situations. People getting knocked out on the internet listening to him.
Come on.
Right.
People getting physically hurt. These people doing real jail time, 7 years and more. You listening to a clown.
You saw the guy just went to the FBI.
FBI.
Took himself up there and got taken out on behalf of
like really. And they killed him so quick. It was like, we know one of them coming, and we're gonna deter the other ones. We're gonna put him down.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just think that you just got to deal with it a lot better. But I want to ask y'all this: Liz Cheney lost, right? Now, I've never voted Republican. You know what I'm saying? But the older I get in the way I'm looking at things now, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, the Democrats and stuff, like, I mean, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? The only thing we got in the bill, what was the bill that Joe Biden just signed yesterday? What is it called? What is it?
I can't remember the name of the bill, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the bill.
I'll try to tell you here in just a second.
He's going to tell us in a second. So
y'all move ahead. I'll tell you in a second.
So the only thing in it was for us was, just lower health care and things that shouldn't even have to be in the bill. We should be getting that already. Decent health care price.
Right.
Affordable health care for everybody. Those
Right.
things shouldn't even have to be in the bill. But one thing I can say is Liz Cheney did lose, and you all can tell me how you feel about this. But I like Liz Cheney. And the thing that I like about Liz Cheney, I have to do more research on Liz Cheney and go a little deeper because I don't know a lot about her outside of she's Dick's daughter, Dick Cheney's daughter. You
Okay.
know, I have to dig deep on Liz Cheney, but I like Liz Cheney, and I like the fact that she's not afraid to stand up, and she's not afraid. She lost her job trying to tell the truth about the situation with Donald Trump. You know,
Okay.
I respect that, and she a gangster because she the other lady that won. She basically told her I could have won, so don't celebrate too hard. I let you win. Because I wasn't going to sit up there and get behind no clown.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And I want to know, do you guys think if Liz Cheney ran for president and she made a plea to the black community, once we research her and stuff, she made a plea to the black community and gave us some concrete things that would happen for this community, do you think black voters could be swayed to vote Republican for a candidate in like Liz Cheney? And I'm really wanting to hear what Erica has to say first, especially black women, Erica, since you know we
Yeah.
carry the vote. Do you think that's a thing that could really happen?
I think I don't know a lot about Liz Cheney. You know,
Right,
like
right.
Dick Cheney was vice president. Didn't he shoot somebody?
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, he shot somebody, right?
Yeah.
In the
Um,
head.
yeah. And the dude just had a heart attack. But I don't know a lot about it. I think probably black people could be persuaded to vote Republican, but it might not be her.
Okay.
She wouldn't be the one that'll make them switch. It's kind of like Obama. It's like my white friends' parents who were Republicans, he got them to switch, and
Okay.
I don't know if Liz Cheney has that glow about her to make black women vote for her. But I don't know, like you said, I don't know anything about her.
Yeah, I gotta research and go deeper into who she is. I'm talking really on the things that I see on the surface. I
Okay.
gotta get deeper into her beliefs and those kind. I'm talking strictly on the surface, and I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I've been following her, through this last little season of things that's been happening. I know that she's kind of spearheading that whole, insurrection thing. I know that she's a part of that. I did hear her say that yesterday on a soundbite that she's going to see to it that Donald Trump comes nowhere near the White House. So what she has done as a person, as nobody else has done in politics, is challenge Donald Trump. Nobody.
Yeah.
And, everybody's like scared of him from the Republican standpoint.
Right.
And so to see her do that, I liked it.
Yeah.
I can't lie. Not saying that our vote is going to change anything or make her the president, but I like what I saw from her and like what I've been seeing from Liz Cheney. I think that she got more balls than a lot of the men that's in D.C. right now.
Certainly where the Republicans are concerned. But
I mean, she's saying things that they obviously could have been said. And
well, that's what I wanted to say too, that it's not just the Republicans who are afraid of Donald Trump. You look at how the Democrats move, right? And then they would try to use the entire time Biden has been in office, we've been talking about Donald Trump
whole time
to show, but if you've been watching what Biden has been doing, you understand that we've been more harmed under Biden than we were under Trump. And I'm not a Trump supporter. I want to let that be clear.
And I'm clear on what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
He did not sign anything that harmed us. Like this dude has given away almost the $11 trillion in reparations due to American black people. And we have got no portion. He banged his hand on that desk talking about the African-American community has always had my back and I'm going to have yours. And he has done not only has he done things, nothing to help us, but he's done a lot to harm. So I would recommend, this is the beauty of this rough time is that black people are becoming more politically savvy, right? We're becoming more politically aware. I would just encourage black people to understand if we don't, like when Ice Cube came out last year, if we don't suggest to people running for office that here are our needs, and if you do not publicly announce that you will support these things before the vote, we're not voting. I don't understand why Black people are running out to the polls when you don't have an agenda. They're talking about immigration and LGBT and all of these things that don't have anything to do with us.
Right.
So if anybody, Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, Joe Blow, if they have a Black agenda, I would encourage Black people to look at that, analyze it, make sure it's good for you and your family, and then choose that as opposed to blue no matter who.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree with that.
I agree with that, G. And I brought it up because I've been talking about it with some of my friends, and they also felt, one of my girlfriends also felt that way. She was like, you know what? The fact that she's just willing to stand up against Donald Trump. She not having, I'm talking about lost her job out there in the middle of the ocean by herself, the most hated in the Republican Party.
Right.
It says a lot about her, because other than that, the way I look at it, the Democrats, they really like the same people. I mean, we need an independent or something.
If we need independent. You just said it, because
we need an independent. We need somebody, even if they don't win,
somebody to shake it up.
Somebody to shake it up. We need a serious somebody in the independent space to shake the thing up. And if she get in that space and we learn more about her, I really believe that she will grab some votes and shake this thing up.
They got to have a Black agenda, though.
I was watching something on CNN or some. Can y'all hear me?
I hear you. Yes, Eric.
Yeah, I was watching something on CNN, and like this kind of changed my mind. I don't know who it was, but some Republican loser. I don't know who it was, but he was saying, he said, Black people need to stop worrying about voting for president, right? But just hold on. I mean, not stop worrying about, but vote more locally. That matters more to your life. Vote for the judges, vote for the state treasurer, vote for the senator. That matters.
Superintendent.
Yeah, that matters in your life. The president, Biden, doesn't matter. It matters who is the chief of police in your city.
That's right.
But I was like, man, that is true, because it's like, it's a hierarchy. And so Biden is not really affecting me more than the police department or the judge, the DA, the assistant DA in Chicago, so I was like, that is actually true, because that's like, I know even less about them people when they're on the ballot. I just vote for whose name I remember,
that damn ballot.
That's what we have to do. The local politics. And I don't know if y'all recall when Biden and Harris ticket came up and so forth, there was a lot of disarray inside of the Black community. And it was based in this, like, y'all don't know. Remember, it's the people who know versus the people who don't know, but have an idea. And that's what I was saying. That rough time, I thought me and my guys were qualifying it then that, okay, what I'm going to do is in my community, I'm going to start posting the things about the candidates, just so the people in the area can be aware. This is because remember, what we'll do is go in and either vote for all the Black people or all the blue people.
We just go straight Democrat.
And it's like
big sitting up there, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
And the Democrats, again, when you go back and look at it, every city that has the more mass shootings, all of those things, you go back, it's all Democrat run. So it's like we're being done. The people I deal with are like Democrats and Republicans are the left and the right branch of white supremacy. It's just left and right.
That's all it is.
They don't have our interests. Every time a cop kills a guy and gets away and gets exonerated, that's everything over there is
the same head with two different hands.
That's right there. Yeah. So we need to stop. We're not going to be married to a party moving forward. And I hate to say
Gerard, this, come on, man. You don't remember when Biden said you ain't Black if you don't vote for him?
I remember him saying that. And I remember when I was not Black. That Tuesday. I remember that Tuesday very well. I was like, I might go to Beverly Hills. Yeah.
Right.
I might storm the Capitol today because today I sat my ass down. They did not get a vote for me on the presidential ticket. I just disappointed.
I don't want to see a rematch of Donald Trump and Biden, though. I don't want to see that.
I'm gonna
Donald Trump not going. I don't think.
I don't want to see that at all, man. I don't want to see either one of them.
Listen,
Ever again.
Running for
Ever.
office.
I'm a new person.
You can't
He not going. Donald Trump not going to get the nomination though. They didn't use him for what they wanted to use him for. They gonna dump him off. They gonna start helping put him under. That's what they gonna start doing.
So who do you think? Who do you think is going to run against Biden in 2 years?
DeSantis.
We need somebody besides Biden. Shoot.
You said Ron DeSantis from Florida?
Yeah, Ron DeSantis from Florida.
Because he's exactly who Donald Trump is. He's just 40 years younger, and
he's insane. He's insane.
Wow. He's a super.
He's insane. That man has a mental illness.
But that's who the people who voted for Donald Trump. That's what they love. So that's what we got to be careful about him. And I hate to say this, my mother's a beautiful black woman, but Kamala, we need some real black representation, or we just need somebody in there who's not that mocking us.
Where is she? I ain't seen her.
Yeah, nobody's seen her.
They need to put a bolo out on her.
They used her to get the black vote.
Yeah, they did.
No, she dead somewhere. I'm like,
yeah.
And
Eric,
the day she
they
got
need to
in,
put a bolo out on her. If you seen her, tell her to come return herself in.
right.
I don't know where the hell that lady at. I ain't seen her since inauguration.
Last thing, Chucks and Pearls. Last thing.
I think because of what our ancestors and everything went through, that's why I vote. But I'm been speaking lately and gonna keep speaking. We need a viable independence. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even care if they have little chance of winning or not. I still can vote for them, and we need to show. As a people, we need to show them, man, we're not about to keep going for this malarkey right here.
You gotta have a black agenda.
We gotta have a black agenda.
You have to have a black agenda.
And we're gonna have to switch up. I'm not about to keep voting for these people.
You have a black agenda. You could be Republican to the nth degree, but if you say, man, we're gonna do these things and not the trick things talking about HBCU, even forgiving student loan debt. I went to college. But my thought is, if you're trying to forgive student loan debt to close the wealth gap, but everybody didn't go to college, so doesn't that then create a wealth gap inside of the black community?
Yeah.
How much we need, we're going to give the sons and daughters of those of us who went to Morehouse and Spelman a break before we give them kids off man, if you don't start at the rock bottom.
Right.
And work your way up to the college grads. Right. No, y'all pay your student loan. We're gonna take care of these kids who don't have a thing, man. What about that? Come on, man. It's all trick bag, divide and conquer, man.
It is.
Yeah.
And
I'm voting for the first person to start putting real grocery stores in the hood.
Right.
Real.
So that's real talk.
Because, I'm serious, because we got whole generations living off corner store food, bro.
Right.
And terrible meat. I mean, you get me somebody that's into health and nutrition and say we're gonna make sure that we lower the diabetes rate. We're gonna make sure we tackle cancer a little bit. We're gonna help out with the hypertension. We're gonna lower stress. We're gonna put these whole foods in the neighborhoods. We're gonna do. Yeah, I want to hear somebody talk like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I haven't heard not one politician talk like that.
Did you see that experiment they did? Did you ever see the experiment they did in that jail? Where they changed the whole food. Did you see that? It was in, I can't think of what state it was in, but some company asked the jail if they could pull out and come in and change their whole cafeteria and feed the prisoners. Yeah. And they would pay for it or whatever. So the state allowed it, and it was all like Whole Foods. It was like Whole Foods, super vegetables, fruit, whatever. Yeah. They said the crime in the jail dropped by 91%. Not from from nothing else, but from them eating a low carb quality food. No garbage, no junk food. There was no junk food to be seen. So they was prisoners were way nicer to each other, way calmer with each other.
Right.
No interactions with guards. They was breathing, chilling out more, like total change. Nothing else works but just food.
And,
I'm like,
That's
and-
amazing.
Somebody's
That's
healthy
amazing.
enough to make it to their life sentence.
yeah.
I thought I
But
was gonna die early, but I'm gonna get to my 100 years now.
I'm gonna tell you something though, and I know that that's a fact because I shop at a place called Erewhon. It's a Whole Food store. It's not a Whole Foods. It's a health food store, and it's a brand that I just recently started shopping at. I would shop at Whole Foods, but once Amazon bought Whole Foods, I had a question about their integrity.
Right.
You know, and the food is too high for me to be going in there and you lying, telling me I can go to the regular grocery store and get this. So once Amazon bought it, their integrity it was a big question for me. I was like, nah, y'all ain't gonna get me with that one. I gotta go to some place that I feel still has a very integral business practice as it comes to selling healthy food, and it is high. But when you go into these stores, speaking to Erica's point about them feeding the people in jail at this particular prison, when you go into these stores, they're quiet. You go in there, people are shopping, and it's very quiet. You don't hear nobody yelling. You don't hear nobody screaming. Go into the local grocery store, man, it's off the chain. Put them cookies back. It's off the chain. But it's the food.
No, you're right.
It's what's in the food, so it's really off the chain.
They eating that. Hey, look, they eating that hood pork.
Come on,
that hood pork different from that suburb pork.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So it's really, but the hustle in this country is pharmaceutical, so they don't want these things to be healthy.
Right, you're right though. Food, they don't want you to get healthy off food.
No, you can't. You won't need medicine.
Right.
If you get healthy eating, why you gonna need all these prescriptions? These people out here got a prescription for everything. You can go in there and tell them my fingertip hurt. They gonna say take this.
Right.
They ain't gonna run that no test. Oh yeah, take this for fingertips. Now your finger swollen, your underarm hurt now. You like, dude, I only had a fingertip pain.
Right.
But I mean,
underarm hurt.
Everything started hurting from your fingertip because you took the medicine. Got 900 side effects.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had to tell the doctor I ain't taking that. She looked at me like I was crazy. I'm gonna have to try something else because ain't no way in the world you come in here and say this is a problem, but then the side effects gonna kill me.
Right.
I'm not gonna survive diarrhea, pneumonia.
Nah, right. Internal bleeding.
Internal bleeding. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care.
Bumps around your eyes. I'm gonna survive all this.
I don't care what the ailment is, but if diarrhea is one of the side effects, y'all can keep that one.
Nobody wants diarrhea from a medicine. Jesus. Jesus,
no.
It's not the same diarrhea from food.
Right.
And they quick to tell a person when they ain't gonna do it. Well, you know, your life at risk. All our life at risk. Yours is too.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's life at risk. Ain't nobody here to stay. Get over it.
You better stop eating them 2 for $5s.
Man.
That's what the problem is.
Anything with a 4 in between it.
And I be saying, when I see them 2 for $5s up there, I be like, them joints, they so inviting. You know what I mean?
You like, man, that look good.
Ooh, you like, oh. But on another thing, I'm always one that I try to exercise. I try to eat well. I try to eat healthy, almost into a point where, you know, I take a hot plate when I go on the road and I grocery shop and I cook in the room. I try to, you know, since we eat out, and I try to. I mean, I eat bad things, but I try to constantly work on it. You know, I think it's just a lifestyle choice. But I read something about Reverend Al Sharpton that really threw me off. They asked Reverend Al, we already know how small he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he can't really get no smaller. So they asked him what he eat, and he said all he eat every day and only is a kale salad, an egg, and a cucumber. And I forgot what the other ingredient was. and that's all he eat all day.
One
Raw kale once a day at noon. Doesn't eat till noon. And I said, I like to lose weight and all that kind of stuff, but I already know in my mind. Oh, he said his doctor told him he had. So in the nighttime he might eat he usually eats a piece of toast.
Okay.
I said, I mean, I don't even know how to get my mind. I want to do it, but I don't even know how to get my mindset to just kale and a piece of
Don't
toast.
do that.
Here's
Don't
what
do
you
that.
gotta ask.
Have you ever fasted? I fast.
I have fast. I do fast. I do
Okay,
fast.
yeah, I fast.
So the
Yeah.
fasting, I can get through the fasting, Erica, because I know the fasting won't come to an end and I can get back at it.
Right.
But I'm just saying, I really want to give food up. I'm tired of food for a while. I'm just sick of it.
Look,
How
And
long
I've been
you
really
fast?
going over this in my mind. I'm really, like, I don't eat McDonald's and Wendy's and
Yeah.
Burger. I don't eat stuff like that. When I do eat out, I try to go somewhere where they had a good choice I can make in a preferably a high-end restaurant or something. I
Yeah.
don't eat. I don't go to Taco Bell and no, I can't tell you last time I ate at Wendy's and stuff. And I go buy it. Like I buy it for family members and all this. My mother always say, "Why you out before you come back? Get me a Happy Meal." I mean, like, extra
Right.
pickles, So, but I don't eat any of those things. Like I don't eat out of carryouts and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see if I can get down to. I do intermittent fasting, Eric.
How long? How many hours?
5.
No, so you eat for 5 and fast for 19?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I try those different kind of things. It doesn't always work, but I try those different kind of things. And sometimes I just don't want to eat. I just drink water.
Yeah.
I just go hard and go hard in on some water or
I
something
can't
like
lie,
that.
I'm a water drinker.
Yeah.
When I ain't drinking water, I do prefer Jack Daniels. That's just my preference of choice, other than water.
How do you jump from water to Jack, Howie? Like,
Crown Royal.
I'll say this: I prefer a good Patron as well, a good tequila. But I don't drink even alcohol has a lot of sugar. But I don't drink sugary drinks like pops and lemonades and juices. And how people drink juice and pop all the time. Like I don't almost completely out of my diet. Like I don't
That's
eat
good.
it. I'm talking about every 2 or 3 months. I might say, "Let me taste that Pepsi," and then I taste it and be like, "This round drink." Pop. It just reminds me why I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like anything sugary, and people don't understand that's actually a bigger weight gainer than food. Is
right.
When you put them sugary drinks with that high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
You keep drinking that, I can guarantee you'll gain way more because you keep drinking it. You're not satisfied. Your thirst ain't being quenched, and you just keep drinking it.
And you're washing down a cupcake with it.
And you washing down a cupcake.
Also,
and
you gotta watch
a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos.
Come on, man.
Right.
You gotta watch mixing your alcohol too, right? With Cokes and
that's a doubly worse because alcohol really has sugar.
And
see, I don't even drink anymore.
That carbon is gonna get you faded too. Dom, I was gonna say this: if you don't do what Al Sharpton do until you find out what time he goes to. Some tell me Al Sharpton go to bed at 5:15 p.m. You know what I'm saying? With that salad. Don't let that get
sleep
you
right
upset.
after that salad.
Okay. That's right.
He do not be in the club at that
time. Get up early too, though. You know, real early.
But I do too, pretty much. But so, Erica, and some days I just drink water and then I won't eat until dinner time. I'll have dinner. So I just
OMAD, yeah.
Hey, what did you say, Eric?
They call it OMAD, 1 meal a day.
Yeah, so so I'll do it like that. But I've been working, I just work on it and stuff like that. Because at one point I didn't even eat, any meat at all or anything. Like I don't eat pork and beef and pork and stuff like that. I will eat some chicken. Mostly I just eat chicken, and then I'll have some turkey if I ever take.
You ain't a seafood fan, Dominique?
Oh, I'm from DC. Yes, I eat fish.
I was about to say.
DC.
Yeah. I eat some fish. I eat some crabs. I'm going to Baltimore tomorrow to the Baltimore Comedy Factory. So y'all already know I'm going to get down on a crab cake or something like that. But I'm just really sick of food. Like, I'm tired of food. Like, I it's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And I'm just really, really sick of food. And I was like, I'm gonna ask them about this. Do y'all think y'all could do that Al Sharpton food? I'm just really tired of food, though. I don't want it. I'm sick of it.
Try if you want to, you should try. They call it 36-12.
Mm-hmm.
So you try to fast for 36 hours.
Okay.
So say you eat dinner tonight at 10. Tonight,
Mm-hmm.
what's today? Wednesday, and you don't eat until 10 o'clock on Friday.
Okay.
So 36 hours, and then you eat how you want to eat on Friday. But that'd be a good way to because it's just by how you see it. Some days I'm like, I don't want to eat this. Like this tastes nasty. It tastes fake. It's not filling me up.
Ain't that crazy? The older you get, you can taste food like taste fake.
Yeah,
I swear. I thought it was just me. I like eat some stuff and I'm like, ugh, this don't even taste right.
Right. It don't smell right.
All of that. And I used to be at an age where I used to be like, I'm gonna still eat it because I bought it. Now I'm throwing it in the garbage. I'm done. Yeah.
And when you don't eat certain stuff, you can taste the chemicals in it. One time,
you can taste the chemicals in it.
I jumped out. I said, I'm gonna get a biscuit from Bojangles. I used to love Bojangles when I was growing up. I was like, I just gonna get a biscuit from Bojangles. Man, that biscuit tastes like chemistry class. I was like, I can't eat. I was like, I'm eating the whole. I'm talking about. I'm eating the whole. What is the chemistry chart? I'm eating that whole the periodic chart. I'm eating the whole periodic chart right now. I'm like, this is crazy.
This tastes like Fe.
Ooh,
iron.
Sulfur. This tastes like sulfur. Phosphate.
The older you get, the more you start to slow down anyway from the eating style. My grandmother did it. I mean, like she was up at 4:30 in the morning, drink her coffee, eat that toast, and cook us breakfast, and really wouldn't even eat none of that shit.
No, it's true because
it's
true. I tell my mother that all the time too. She don't eat like she used to. She'll have her moments, but the older she got, she more picky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She don't want to put all that garbage in her. You know what I'm saying? She like, I don't want that.
Taking care of my dad, and so I do a lot of cooking now, and it's really the same. He's up there, so the variety is out of the window. I did get to bake some fish the last couple of days. You know what I'm saying? He was real pleased with that, but outside of that, it's just this same thing over and over on repeat, and you try to throw something new in there. It's like a kid, like, no, he's not supposed to change the vegetable up. You don't want the meat. It's like, oh man, we got new combos over here.
Right.
But yeah, it's a weird thing. I know putting weight on at this time. I've been 155 pounds my whole adult life, and then some kind of way I put on 30. And so yeah, now and I've always been, I'm active. I exercise, never stopped any of that. And so it's like, but I want my physique back. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm trying to be more conscious about what do I put in my body. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like Dominique though. I gotta go to a good restaurant, man. If I'm not cooking, the restaurant I go to, it's just got to be a good restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
you got to try. You got to.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You got to try.
I need to go somewhere where it's chefs, not cooks.
How about that?
You got to
check a pants and a hat, please. Yeah.
I need a chef over here. Sorry, I don't need to go to order to cook.
Oh my God! I had so much fun.
Prepared your meal at the bus stop.
Right.
There you go, our chef right there.
I had such a good time talking to y'all. We gotta wrap it up. I want you all to tell the audience where they can find you, what you got coming up, so they can come see you. Because I encourage my audience to everybody that comes on this show. They're funny. Go check them out and go support them. We have to support comedy. It's okay to support popularity, but we have to support comedy as well. So okay, Erica, we're gonna start with you and we're gonna move on around.
Okay, so Instagram, Erica Nicole Clark, Facebook, all that same, Erica Nicole Clark. I'm based out of Chicago, but you find me all around Chicago, all around. I just shot a special in July, so hopefully.
Congratulations.
I don't know when that's gonna drop, but yeah. So, yeah, that's it.
Hey, my name is Howie Bell, but on the gram is Howie Bizzell. You can see it right there on the screen. HOWIEBIZZELL. And if you go to my Instagram or my Facebook, Howie Bell, I post kind of all the time when I'm doing shows. So, you know, I mean, if I tell you right now, you're going to forget. So just go to my Instagram and just become my friend and then follow me. And I do like a lot of little fun stuff with my hood nature. So you follow hood nature. Make sure you want to do that. And, you know, that's it, man. Love y'all. Love Dominique, Gerard, Eric.
Love you too.
Look, man, this is comedy family right here.
Come on, man. Real quick, I wanted to go back and fix that. That was the $740 billion tax climate and health is what Joe Biden just signed. I did want to clarify and apologize to Erica. I forgot, and it wasn't until way late in this interview. We met many years ago in front of the Hollywood Improv. Kind of in passing, we were out there doing what have you know, clowning in front of the building. It just occurred to me that. So Ari Spears and I also have a podcast. You can see that. I love Howie and Erica and Dom. You know what it is. I love being here. Thank you so much for having me here.
I love you too. So, thank you for being here.
I'll be doing a show with our good brother Larry Goodwell in Missouri City on Saturday. And you know, you can always find me right here next to this beautiful, hilarious young lady with fantastic guests such as Howie Bell.
Always.
You'll have a great rest of the week, a safe weekend.
I'm gonna say this too, Dominique, real fast. We gotta say rest in heaven to my boy Teddy Ray, man.
Mandatory. Mandatory.
Man, that's another heartbreaker, another comic gone. And man, y'all take care of yourselves, man. Just love each other and you know, just be free spirited because we all gonna go one day. Just go out on the bang, man.
That's right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we all thank you for joining us this week. We'll be here as usual every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll see you guys right here next week.
Peace.